Steve Cotton joins us, a financial strategist and policy expert. Steve, thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, good morning. It's glad to be with you.
Well, we're glad to have you. You know, there are a lot of things happening in the financial world. The Fed chair, Jerome Powell, says he's under criminal investigation right now. And, that seemed to have a little bit of an effect on the markets yesterday that I could tell.
Well, the markets ended up positive yesterday despite the publicity. But, I would caution viewers to withhold judgment on whether this is just a simple political issue or not. Look at what the Fed is doing. They are renovating two buildings. The original estimate for the renovations was $1.9 billion. Now the current costs are running $2.5 billion, and President Trump, being an expert in construction, is estimating that the final cost could end up being $4 billion. He says this makes it one of the most expensive real estate projects in world history, and he's right about that. Anna Paulina Luna, who is a Republican member from Florida who sits on the House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform, made a criminal referral to the Department of Justice on this matter, and they've now given Powell a criminal subpoena to testify before a grand jury. There has to be something else here. I don't think the political explanation is the whole story, and so that's why I would say people should withhold judgment until we see more evidence of what's going on. But a criminal referral is very serious.
Well, that's just what people do now when they're caught with their hand in the cookie jar. It's all political. No, sometimes there's criminal behavior going on and it needs to be investigated. I'm just curious, let's say it does cost $4 billion. Wouldn't it have been cheaper to tear the building down and rebuild it?
Well, that may be true. There are complications when you're renovating a property and you're going down building a basement. Washington was built on a swamp. So when you go down, you have to fight the water. And there are complications to reconstruction in a building like that in Washington. They've got historical restrictions and all kinds of things. But the fact is, this is either gross mismanagement of the construction project, or it may involve some fraud. I don't know what it is, but I think there's more here. I think there's sufficient smoke. There may be fire.
Is that tax money they're spending, or is that Fed money they're spending, which I guess is one and the same?
That's a very good point. It's Federal Reserve money. It's money that they derive from charges and fees to banks. So it's internal money. However, you can make the point that this is ultimately taxpayer money. It's federal government money. It's not out of somebody's private piggy bank.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, something though, you hear stories like this, and I'm thinking, because I spent some time, lived in San Diego for 3 years, and I remember that idiot bullet train thing they were going to build. They've spent billions of dollars. There's nothing built. Everybody knew when they voted for it, it was just money given away to donors. I mean, there's so much fraud that goes on right now in business and in government.
Well, that's right. Unfortunately, you're exactly correct. The Somali child care story from Minneapolis is a classic example of one of the worst examples of conscious government fraud. I am not really that suspicious that there's fraud here, although there certainly could be some fraud based on the subcontractors. But I think it may be more a case of simple negligence in managing the project. There is no reason in the world why this project should be $2.5 billion on a simple construction project. President Trump's expansion of the East Wing to include a grand hall for events is something like $200 or $300 million. Come on, folks. When the project's $2.5 billion, there's something wrong.
Yeah. Steve Cotton is a financial strategist and policy expert. Steve, thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate it.
Glad to be with you. Thank you.